Hi guys, it's Belle here and I am back with day 3 of hashtag Creep on June 24 created by Tracy Fox, and she's doing a month-long challenge collaboration with lots of other very talented people, and I decided to join along. So I will leave the links to her video down below and where you can get the digitals and things. But today's one, I'm going to be working on a tag. I'm going to do kind of a simple-esque tag concept. I certainly didn't come up with this idea, you know, I'm sure it's not new. And we are going to be using some inks today. I still want these makes to be kind of quick, and something that you could possibly do if you don't have these digitals. Let's get started. So this is the main tag, and this is the bit I'm going to use. This is in the digital kit. She kind of gives you a sheet with a tag, a file folder, a pocket or something for each day of the challenge. So this is the tag I wanted to use today, and it did have this tag with it too, and I am going to use that. And then I've pulled out this, which is from one of her digital ephemera kit bits. This is the Craftly haul kit, so I am going to back those. And then I've got just a few other bits and bobs, and I don't know how it's going to go. We're just going to have a go at it, and that's that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to fold this, because I'm going to do a kind of flippy bit to this. So I want to fold this over. Yeah, I think I've decided I'm just going to be making ephemera that I can use in other projects. I think that's what I'm not going to be doing, a main journal or a big project. I'm just going to be doing some ephemera. So I want that. So on here, on both this bit and I've pulled out some paper. This has already got some ink on it, so that's okay. But on this bit and on the back of this piece, which isn't a Tracy Fox digital, this was a digital by Pink Oddbird. I don't know if she still has these in her shop, but I want to use that. So on these pieces and on this little Tim Holtz piece, and I think on that Tim Holtz piece, I want to get some spraying done. I cannot find my mats. Oh, hold on. I think I've just seen them. Sorry about that, guys. I literally said I can't find them, and then I look over and I see it. Okay, so I'm going to move all of this, and I'm going to start off with possibly a little bit of hickory smoke, just a little bit. I don't want too much. So let's spray this. And then move it all about. I don't want to use my finger, even though I'm about to use my fingers anyway, so what does it matter? And I'm just going to dab on there, put some on here. It always reacts a bit differently because I use matte photo paper for the ephemera and pieces. And I'm going to start off with that. Yeah, that'll be good. Then I'm going to use some vintage photo. Use a bit more of that. So I want to, just put that on there anyway. And I don't mind that it's making this bleed on the other side. It actually works well with the effect that I'm going for. Yeah, I just wanted to add a bit more kind of colour onto these. A bit more grunge, as it were. Let's do that. The vintage photo is just a distress ink. the hickory smoke is an oxide. So yeah, and I've got some vintage photo on here, so I might as well just use it in places. Okay, I think actually I want a little bit more hickory smoke. Wasn't sure I was going to, but I think I do. Ba-da-ba-ba. Put that on there. Particular. And then here. Bum bum. Like so. Oh no. We've barely got any left for this little one. Okay. Say little one. Don't worry, you can have some ink. Could have just used what was on the brush, couldn't I? Yes, Belle, you really could have done that. Where's the other one? Oh, it's over here. Let's add some more on there then. And on here. Don't mind that it's on both sides. And on these. And then let's just soak up anything that's remaining on this. Okay. And I think that's it, guys. I think that's all we need inked up. There we go. I think that's about it. I am actually going to add some black soot to this as well. So where's my black soot? I'm going to edge it in black soot, which I'm hoping, because this should still be a little bit damp. If it's not, I will just spray it a little bit, that it will blend. Do this side too. So this is a piece from one of the ephemera kits that, this little one, that Tracy has created for this challenge. This is a Tim Holtz piece. Oh, this is wet, so it's going to rip beautifully. And crease up. Oh dear, the things we do. Yeah, let's ink that. And that's okay, because that will dry. Where's the other thing? Right. Do you know what? I've put it on the back of here and I don't even need it on the back of here. What am I doing? What am I doing? Right, let's crease this while it's still wet. And it's all smudged, which really gives it that old feel. That yummy, delicious, been sitting somewhere for 100 years kind of feel, which I love. So yeah, okay, that does need to dry, and then we need some on here. Okay, so that does need to dry, and I can't believe I did the books when I don't need to do the books, but do you know what? That's okay. So I'm going to go dry these with my heat gun and I will be back. Okay, so they are all now dry. Look how absolute scrummy that is. And stuff. They are all now dry. So what I want to do is I want to glue these together, but I have this, it's tea-dyed thicker card paper. And what I want to do is I want to make this into a hinge for between those, and actually I need to cut another piece for another hinge. So I want to fold this over like so, because I want this to be a flip out on the front of this journal. Hoping you can see that. Doo-ba-doo. Yeah, so this is not as sturdy as cardstock, but it's thicker than just plain paper. So I'm going to just kind of measure that. I'll tell you what, Belle, why don't you do it on that side where you can actually see what you're doing. Where did my scissors go to? Then I may be able to use that for the other one. And then I'm going to glue this in between these two tags. Let's just do that now. Make sure I've got my tag the right way up first because I could see that happening or I don't put it the right way up. I'm going to glue this into here. Like so, and really make sure that's down, which it's not. I am going to stitch, so, you know. Yeah, that'll do. And then this is going to go on top of, let's get my glue book, shall I? On top of here. Especially glue that edge, even though I'm going to stitch around it, so it's fine realistically. Let's put that there. Sorry if you can hear lots of noise outside. It is a beautiful weekend day. So obviously that means that loads of people are out doing work in their gardens, front or back, or building work, or whatever they don't get to catch up on during the weekend. And if it's not them, then it's kids out playing. It's just a beautiful day, so people are out enjoying it as much as they can. Okay, and let's cut this. Like so. Okay, perfect. I might actually trim that just there. Perfect. So we've got that one, and now I want to do the same thing with this. So I want to back this with some paper first. Yeah, I want to back this with some paper. So I'm just going to kind of roughly trim this out. Because again, I want this to be a flip out. Might be able to use this one. I think I will be able to. Yeah. I could have done this a lot easier, but there we go. Why make life easy for myself? Da-da-da. So that's going to go on there. And I've got this image. I need to make sure I'm putting this the right way. On there. Really pressing that down. Realistically, I didn't have to do that. I could have just come on with this and made a slightly larger piece so that it had a flip. But again, why make life easy for myself when it's much more interesting to make it twice as hard? Oh, dearie me. So, although I'm not following along per se with the overall story, amazing as it is, or the like order of the story or anything like that, I have decided that this one is inspired. And if you haven't watched or heard the story of Craftly Hall, then you really do need to go and check that out, because it's just fascinating on its own, even if you're not crafting along. It's obviously a completely made up story, but based on the idea of like the psychic research centres that became very, very popular during the Victorian era, when everyone was having their spiritual parties with table tapping and turning and all that kind of thing. Anyway, this one's kind of loosely inspired by one of the characters. So I'm taking the idea of what's his name? Ernest Blundell, kind of the chief investigator, and I am taking the idea of him in his slightly later life and the idea of him still doing cases and like his wife and stuff, who is now going to join him. And I cannot for the life of me find my black soot. There it is, because I want some black soot on this all over these. Really ink up those edges. I don't know why I inked that one, but I am going to ink the inside one, because you will see that. Ink up the edges. Some beautiful black soot. Love this bookcase. I mean, if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. If you're not and have been with me a while, you'll know that my other passion, aside from, well, one of my other passions, aside from crafting and cats, is books. So I obviously had to do this as a bookcase. Right, we're going to trim this and this. And I'm also going to ink up all of this. And the other side too. Really get up. Realistically, I could have inked more on here too. Not ink. I could have, well, yeah, I could have added more inks. So what I'm thinking is this is going to go in there and flip, and then this one is going to go here and flip, like so. That's what I'm thinking. But before I do that, I want to crumple this up a little bit, and I want to have like a crease there and possibly there, because I can't have it too perfect. Let's get some more ink. It can't be too crumpled because it has to lie relatively flat, because it's the one underneath. And I'm thinking I'm going to stitch it like so. This one's all right, but I am going to stitch around. But before I do that, just in case I want the design stitched around that as well, I have all these little pieces. Some of them are digitals. Well, this one's a Tracy Fox digital, and the rest are basically Tim Holtz pieces. And I also have some stamped pieces of my own. I feel like there was a third one. Is that it? Yeah. So we are going to put these on here. I don't want too much on the front. I just want a few bits. Okay, so let's get this and do this. Oh, please work. Please. Oh, dear me. Come on. This was fine yesterday. Right, let's use a pin to try and open that up a little bit. There we go. All right, so I want this about here, I think. And then I'm thinking I want the approved somewhere. yeah, I just thought this tag was so beautiful on the front with the books that I didn't want to do too much to it, but I thought something like this would be quite good. Thinking maybe one of these as well. It says London on it. Let's really ink that up. But also I do have this number, and I just feel like this number will work so well on here if I can find a space for it. Maybe down the bottom. Maybe just part of the number. Maybe this part of the number. Okay, that'll do. Come on. Stop playing me up today, glue. Okay, realistically that should have been inked up a lot too, but that's okay. Okay, oh, I want this little one too. Definitely. So I want that. Again, I'm just layering some different bits. I have actually got one of the Tim Holtz books, which, you know, would be hard to put on like that. Could put it on just like, I don't know, underneath. No, that's not going to work for me. I don't like it. Let's put this on. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and stitch around this bit of the tag, and this, I'm going to stitch around this. Oh, I've got one of these too. Do we want to add anything else? If I lifted these up, would that go there? I think I just like it like that, you know. Yeah, so I'm going to stitch around these and then I will be back. Okay, so I stitched around both of those. I did a wobbly straight stitch and then some zigzag there. And this I've just done a wobbly straight stitch. You can see it better there. So what I want to do now is I want to attach this into here. And again, I'm going to be stitching to secure this. Now, oh gosh, where is all my glue today? Obviously, if you don't have a sewing machine, you can just do this through gluing. You just have to make sure you really get to all the edges and that you really make sure the glue is stuck to the edges and really secured well. So that's going to go on there. I did debate even cutting like a bit into there with my craft knife and sticking that through, but do you know what, I don't think I need to. So that's going to go like that, and I'm just going to glue that down. Again, I'm just mainly doing the middle because I'm going to be gluing around to secure, so I don't need everything tight there. And so that will flip like so. Oh, and I've just thought I might put some eyelets in there. And then on this one, again, we're going to have this like so. And we're going to have this down a bit actually, so that you're going to see it poking out the bottom of there, maybe even further down. Not too far, not all the way to the bottom, but yeah, like that. I am going to press that bit, but that's going to be under some tea stained paper. And what I might do is actually put the tea paper on top of this before actually, what's the word I'm looking for, guys, before actually stitching around it. So roughly here and roughly here. And let's just trim that. It won't be exact, but that's okay. Again, if you're new here, hello, welcome. If I can get away with not measuring, I try to, because I don't like measuring. I don't like numbers. Okay, so that is good. And I'm just going to trim here roughly. And then the easier way to do that would have been to do kind of this. But I didn't do that with the other one. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I want that a bit more. Okay, and let's grunge the edges up on this. Theoretically, it'd be great if I could kind of rough them up a little bit if I'd torn the edges better, rather than just trim them straight. You know, if you've got the decal guillotine or something, or some scissors. I'm going to actually just add a few little marks more on here. Like so. That is going to be stuck onto here. Woohoo! So let's stick that on there. There's the dogs. They've just heard the ice cream van. They are not my dogs. They are my neighbour's beautiful dogs. But yeah, they get very excited when they hear the ice cream van. I think it's just the frequency of the actual song, not that they're excited to have ice cream. Unlike all the kids who are going to be running to it when the summer truly does hit. Okay. Love that. Yeah, adding those lines on just really, really helped. Okay, and as we're going to be stitching, I'm going to put the top bits on already. I'm wondering about using a bit more of this. I do have some black lace actually, which I think is quite beautiful. I think I'll, and this is just some cheesecloth that I used in one of the other pieces of ephemera, so why not use it here too? And I think I'm going to stitch that on. So I'm going to stitch around this tag and try and remember not to stitch my flaps, my flippy flappy tag bits shut. Okay, so I used a zigzag stitch to go all the way around that. And yes, if you're going to stitch, make sure you keep these pieces open. And actually, I've decided I like it like this. It was meant to go like that, but I've actually now decided I really like it like this. So that's what I'm going to do. I do have one of these little like Tim Holtz mini paper clips, which I kind of love. And I was wondering about even just putting some weird, these are some old, like threads from the sewing machine when I'm stitching. I'm wondering about putting those through the clip. I know, bit weird, but let's try this. I don't know how it's going to work, but that's okay. It's the whole joy of crafting. You've got to find things out. I'm going to tie it. Like so. And then I'm going to cut that because I want them all kind of all over the place. That one's too long. So it's kind of like that. And I wanted to, well, I wanted to attach it to this bit. But now I'm looking, I could actually close it with that. So let's get on with this bit first. So in here, I wanted to put the books because I thought that would work quite well as a tuck spot. So yeah, I didn't actually need to ink up the books, although I do feel like it's not inked enough at the front. So I'm feeling like this is Ernest Blundell as an older, well, he was already old if we look at the image from the Craftly Hall case, but an even older gentleman with his wife, and maybe the society, maybe the inside, you know, their bookcase and everything, and a few more papers and another case kind of thing. Maybe that. Come on. It's like it wants to come out and then it doesn't. Let's do that. I want this as a tuck spot. I mean, you could write on this. And I could have a tuck spot there, actually. I was going to put it there, but you can write there. Oh, I don't know what to do. Let's put it here. I'm just going to go for it, guys. I'm changing my mind all the time whilst doing this. So that will be a tuck spot once that has dried. So that'll go over, that'll go over, that'll hold those together. And then this weird piece of paper, I feel like this is another bit from another case. Maybe a letter, maybe a payment that he was sent. Like, wondering if I even want to tear part of it. Let's just do it, because I don't want it perfect. Okay, I feel like this could actually go into that tuck spot once it's dry. I'm really burnishing that down well. And it says Henri. Maybe that's another investigator. Maybe they have a kind of sister chapter in France, and that's a letter from one of his French correspondents telling him about a case that they are dealing with at the moment. Don't even want this perfect. Actually, I want it a bit torn up. Probably be better to do this with much smaller scissors or the little tool that I know you can buy. But again, why make life easy for myself? And then ink this up. Like so. And we could actually have that as his name across the top. Let's see if I like the look of that with all of this. I feel like it needs to be cut. Yeah, I feel like there's too much. It's too big. We could have his kind of name. Ernest Blundell. I don't know if I like that. I wanted his name on here. Maybe on the back. I could do that. I don't want it there. Maybe down here. Feel like I wanted it on here, so we're going to put it there. Rather than, as we just have Ernest. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all, so it's not happening. And that's that. Let's put this one on first. So it's kind of linked to the story because it's got the lead investigator's name. I feel like that's too clean, like so. And then I was wondering about putting a tab on here that I could say collector or something on. Let's work on the back first. So on the back, I've got this pen that is also from Tracy's digital kit. And I'm going to put this on as kind of a tuck spot. So I'm only going to glue the top and the bottom of the nib. Can any of you guys remember using it? It's all in fashion now, isn't it? Oh, let's all use our fancy pens. I have so much trauma left over from being of an age where we had to use fountain pens at school. And oh my gosh, let me know down below if any of you guys are the same. Oh guys, honestly, it would always leak and it would always get everywhere. This is also from the Tracy Fox. I feel like this, because of the house, maybe this is the case that the French correspondent at the sister chapter is writing about. And this is from the Tracy Fox digital. I want some brown on there too. Yeah, honestly, it would go absolutely everywhere. It would be all over, and then when you have to change the cartridges over, you bet that some blob would get on, no matter how much you try to do it on a spare piece of paper. And oh yeah, they're all in fashion now, but I don't know. I kind of just have all these old memories. I'm using another one of those paper clips. I have all these old memories of just using them at school. I mean, it was worse if you were left-handed, because using real ink like that, oh, it smudges awfully. And you'd have to carry the spare cartridges with you, because obviously you don't know if you're going to run out within school. I have this piece still, don't I? That could just tuck in there too. You don't know if you're going to run out at school. So you want the spare parts. I really do feel like I want a tab or something somewhere that says collector. So I need to find some sort of card or paper that's going to work for that. Okay, so I found one in my digital box. It's some scrapbook paper, but because it's got this writing on it, it's going to work quite well with what I want. And I have the Tim Holtz rub-ons, so there should be, it's even observation. I feel like observation would be a good one. But I don't know if I have a small, yes, I have a small enough word that says observation. Will that fit? Evidence, maybe evidence would work better. Evidence. And then let's put a case number on there as well. Let's put number, I mean, really number 13 would work, wouldn't it? Let's just do number 13. It's not going to be the 13th case. No, I want a bigger number, because I feel the story's in my head now, guys, and I feel like it has to be a bigger number because it has to be a longer case. So anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, let me know down below if you were raised at a time when you had to use, that's too far over, please don't be stuck already, these stick so quickly, where you had to use fountain pens. I mean, you can get some really beautiful ones, don't get me wrong, but everyone's like, oh, we're learning new beautiful how to use the fountain pens, and I'm just thinking, yeah, you didn't use them at school then, did you? You didn't have the trauma of, oh no, I've got to write a whole essay in this tiny book with my fountain pen that at some point the ink is going to run out of. And why is that not sticking down? I bet it's because I lifted it so many times. These normally stick super quickly. And, you know, it has to be legible, so I can't then turn the page. I have to let it dry a little bit, blot it. Where did that number go to? There. and do all that stuff to it. And it was just a whole thing that I hated. We were so excited when like biros became more of a common thing to write with, and suddenly by the time I left school, secondary school, you were allowed to use them. Like we'd been allowed to use them for a couple of years, and no more fountain pens. So yeah, it's a whole thing, guys. They're beautiful, but yeah, I'm just like, oh, okay. That would have been good if it was stitched on there, wouldn't it? Now I could put it there, or I could put it to the side here, which I think I kind of like, or up there. Let's put it up there. Hello, cat. If you heard that big crash, here she comes. Excuse me, Topaz. Yeah, let's put that up there. It would have been better if I'd stitched it as well, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be stitched. All right, that's going to stick on there. Oh, I've created chaos. I'm just looking around my desk going, oh. And here is that little mini paper clip that we kind of created, which is going to go, if I can get it to, in there with the threads hanging out, so it holds it closed. So this is it. This is my day 3 finally project. It's a flippy flappy tag, so we've got room at the back to write, and you can write on there, and we've got a tuck spot there, which I really like. Then we've got this fun thing here. I'm thinking maybe it needed more doing to it, but that's okay. Move the paper clip. This flips open, can be written on. And we've got this beautiful piece from the Tracy Fox Digital. Just put a little cluster down here and a tag up the top. Then this flips open and can be written here. And then we have a tuck spot here with a Tim Holtz piece of ephemera that again could be written on. And then this digital that we've inked and made all grungy. To be honest, this could be written on too, or some more tea stain paper could be put there. And then it closes up, guys. So I really like how this came together. I feel like I need to do something with that so it stays better. I really like how this came together. I really like how grungy it is. And all the little tuck spots and extra writing space. That could poke out the back of there as well. That's quite cute. And that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will be back again soon with a new video. And until then, wherever you are in the world, and whether you use fountain pens or not, I hope you're having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now.